Hello friends, this is Durga again from ITversity, and in this video, um, as part of DynamoDB for Java developers, I will explain how to set up DynamoDB on virtual machine. Before setting up, let us understand why do we need to set up on virtual machine. The reason is DynamoDB is not free, even though it is cheap to explore. It is not free, and if there are tens of developers developing on their on their own modules or on their own tables for different modules in the project, if everyone try to leverage the resources on AWS, then the cost can be considerable. It need not be hefty, but it can be considerable. So to minimize the cost, it is better to set up locally or on a virtual machine. In this case, I am trying to set it up on a virtual machine just to not to clutter my Mac, and also I am actually showing everything on virtual machine on my channel. So for that, if you follow my other videos on my channel, I have covered how to set up virtual machines in this playlist, VMware create virtual machine on Mac or PC. Okay, so you can go through step by step. It will let you to install VMware, which is a licensed product. You need to pay $50 to $100 to get the license after 1 month, and then it will take care of how to set up the template. This playlist will give you all the information about setting up template. So I have a template with CentOS. I will be cloning the template and creating a separate instance called dynamodb.itversity.com, and then we will set up DynamoDB on that locally. Okay. So that being said, I am going to VMware Fusion. I am using Mac for this demonstration. Mac or Windows should not matter as long as you have the template. The interface is almost similar except one area which I will be showing, highlighting as part of the process. So right click on this, click on create full clone, and I want to create it in DynamoDB directory, which I have already created, already had, and I want to name it as Dynamo. Save. So you have the VM now. Let me shut down. I have to do one step before getting into that. So once you clone the VM, especially if you are using Mac, you have to open the network adapter. Click on network adapter setting, expand its advanced options, and regenerate the MAC address. MAC address is the network. It's the name for your network adapter. It's a virtual adapter, so we have to regenerate for each and every cloned virtual machine. The Mac in MAC address and the Apple Mac is different. This Mac in MAC address is related to networking. Even on Windows you will have this, but whenever you clone, VMware will take care of regenerating the MAC address for each and every virtual machine you create. So that being said, close this and click on start. It will take a moment. Once it is started, I will explain you what needs to be done as part of the post clone steps. First, we need to name the VM by updating etc sysconfig network file, and then we have to configure the network adapter, and then we have to update the host file to provide aliases, and also we need to actually delete persistent netrules file from etc udev rules.d directory. Okay, we will take care of all those things. So first we have to log in using the console. Once you set up the network and all, you can actually connect from terminal or Cygwin if you are using Windows. So the login is root and password is ITversity, which I have created for my template. If you follow my playlist, it actually covers passwordless login. So when you actually clone, it will not ask you for the password. That being sorry, it will not ask for the password when you try to connect through terminal or Cygwin. When you actually use console, you have to enter the username and password. There is no workaround for that. So first let us name the VM by going to etc sysconfig network. Here I want to name it as Dynamo itversity.com, and then I have to give the configure the network, etc sysconfig network scripts ifcfg eth0, and here I want to give the IP address as 60, and I have covered how to get this IP address as part of setting up the VMs. So the first 3 octets of the IP address 192.168.225 depends upon your PC, so you have to go through my videos to understand how you can get that value. Only the last octet or last 3 digits in the IP address can be changed for your virtual machines on your PC. So exit, and then cd etc udev rules.d, and you have to delete this 70 persistent net rules, 70 persistent net rules file. Yes, and now I will provide aliases in the host file. So our IP address is 192.168.225.60, which is from ifcfg eth0 file, and here I want to name it as dynamo.itversity.com and Dynamo. So I am giving 2 aliases for this one, and then exit, and then init 6. So it will reboot the server. Meanwhile, I will go ahead and update the etc host file on my PC. So echo 192.168.225.60 dynamo.itversity.com Dynamo etc host. I have to do it as sudo. I am updating my host file. Okay, I have to do it by logging in as root. So I am echoing because I don't want to show what is in my host file. If you want, you can open in VA editor or Nano editor and add this entry without any issues. So ssh root at local, sorry, sudo su minus root. So now I logged in as root, and I am trying to echo into etc host file. Exit. Okay, now let me try to connect ssh root at dynamo.itversity.com. Yes. So if you have passwordless login already, it will directly take you into the VM without asking for the password. So now I am in the DynamoDB from my terminal, not on the VMware console, and now I have to install DynamoDB downloadable version. Okay, if you want, you can Google it by saying download DynamoDB downloadable and hit enter, and then you can actually follow the steps here. So you just need to copy this tar.gzip file. Sorry, you have to download using wget. I think I don't have wget on this. So first let me install wget and telnet. So if you want to install any of the softwares by connecting to Red Hat or CentOS public repositories, you can use the yum command like this. This is also covered in the earlier videos. So now let me do wget and paste this URL, and it will download DynamoDB in a minute or so, and then we need to install. So first download, then install, and there is no configuration here. You just have to start it, and you can, after that you can use it to run your commands, and also you can write applications connecting to this database. So now it is downloaded. Now you can actually untar it. This is installation, so tar.xzf will actually untar and unzip the directory, and it will create all these files. Okay, better is let me create a directory called Dynamo and cp Dynamo DB into Dynamo, and then let me install it here. Okay, so these are the files and directories that are created. So once you have this, you need to run this command to start it. So it is downloaded, it is installed. Now you have to run this Java command to start it, and the instructions are there in the same website which we have seen earlier to download the link. So you can just copy this. So by default it runs on 8000 port like this as displayed here. If you want to change the port, you need to understand the parameters that can be passed as part of this Java command. One of them is -port, and you can give the port you want, and also you can actually start the DynamoDB in memory also, but it will drop once your service shut down. So that being said, now our DynamoDB is ready, and let's try connecting from command line and run some commands to validate that we can actually create the table, insert the data, and all those things. So the same scripts which I have used earlier to create the table on AWS, Dynamo on AWS, I will be using to create the table and insert data in the downloaded DynamoDB version. So for that I am actually copying this dynamo CLI.sh to dynamo local CLI.sh, and I am opening local CLI.sh script, and here you have to add one more parameter called endpoint. I think you can see here. I think it's endpoint, and you have to say http://local, no, it's dynamo.itversity.com. Because I have updated etc host file, you can give the alias like this. Otherwise you have to give the IP address 192.168.225.60 if you do not updated the host file. It is very important to understand that, otherwise you will you will not be able to connect to the database. So let me create the table first by running this command. I have to open another session because this is running, and if I kill it, the database server will be down. Okay, so I opened the other session and I pasted it. Okay, the reason is I need to add line break here. Now let us see whether it will work or not. Okay, it's there is a syntax error, so let us see AWS Dynamo DB help, and let me check the syntax. It's not in the help. Yeah, the parameter is endpoint minus URL. So let me, I don't know why they did not include it in the help URL. Okay, now you can actually copy this one and run it over here. So table is created, and let us so I'm trying to update the scripts. Just make it, let me make it readable. Okay, so let me insert these two records. So meanwhile, let me update. So I will just run the query. I will not query and the scan commands in a moment. So now you have inserted the records, but if you see, it did not return the consumed capacity for some reason. You can ignore that, and now you can run the query. I have to add the line break for table name also. Now you can run the query. You can see that for the stock ticker and trade date that are passed as part of the key conditions file, for stock ticker A and trade date 1st January 2009, you can see we got one record, and then we will also scan. Okay, now we are almost done with our demonstration. Okay, so now we got two records. Scan is like self start from. So to recap, what we have done is we created the VM by cloning from the template, and downloaded the uh, DynamoDB from the URL provided by the AWS, and then we just installed it by running tar command, and uh, we actually started the server, and we updated our commands by adding that endpoint URL, and um, uh, we ran those commands from command line. The same approach we can do using our Java programs also, and the advantage of doing all this is to reduce the cost to zero. When many developers are working on DynamoDB on individual modules and don't want to pay for the development effort, you can have the downloadable version and play uh, play with a considerable volume of data with considerable number of tables as part of your application development. That being said, I just want to make sure that we cleaned up, because we cleaned up all the files that are created in the home directory, because unfortunately when we untar to install it, it untarred into whatever directory we are in instead of creating a new directory. So the files that are associated with DynamoDB are license.txt, readme.txt, and also DynamoDB local.jar. And also I want to remove the tar file also, because I already have the copy in this Dynamo directory. And also I need to delete DynamoDB local underscore lib, and also third party licenses, and enter, and then ls minus ldr. So we only have these three files as part of the cloning and the directory Dynamo. So that being said, we have demonstrated how to set up DynamoDB locally in a VM as part of this video. I hope you are enjoying the content on my channel. If you like this video, please click on the like button. If you want to provide feedback or ask any technical questions related to this video, please use the comment section of the video. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. You will see a lot more content over time. I am sure that my channel will get bigger and better going forward. Thank you. Bye.